Hello everyone, today we are going to learn how to make stuffed tomatoes in the oven. It's the same as any kind of stuffed veggies, just a little bit different, so let's go see the steps and ingredients. The ingredients that we have for the stuffed tomatoes are approximately 8 tomatoes that I've washed. You can use as many tomatoes as you want, depending on your family size. You can use less, you can use more, up to you. We also have 1.5 cups of rice. This rice is long grain rice. Don't use the regular one, it works much better with the long grain. We also have half a cup of parsley, chopped very small. Half a cup of coriander, chopped very small as well. We can use other fresh dill or any other things that you like. We also have 1 large onion chopped, 2 cloves of garlic minced, black pepper, salt, and mozzarella cheese in cubes that I'm going to use in the tomatoes. So 8 tomatoes, 8 pieces of cubes. So the first step is to get the tomatoes ready for stuffing. The way I'm going to prepare the tomatoes is first I'm going to slice off the top. Again, the tomatoes that I'm using are the medium-sized tomatoes that are kind of hard, not too soft, because we need them to hold together the stuffing. So again, we're going to slice the top, very thin piece, and then I'm going to get a small sharp knife and I'm going to carve the insides out so I could make a little cup. And we're not going to get rid of the insides, we're going to use it for our stuffing, so make sure you keep it in a bowl. As you can see, I've done carving this one here, so it's the inside is very wide and can fit the stuffing that I'm going to have ready. So I sprayed a little bit of salt, just a little, and after I'm done carving it, I'm going to put it on a tray like that with a net, just to drain the water out, just like that. And we're keeping the top slice we're going to use at the end. So these are all the tomatoes that I've carved, put salt on, and I'm draining right now. So the next step is to boil some water for my rice, and I'm going to add some salt, like that. And as soon as the water boils, I'm going to add the rice. Again, with the rice, we're not going to fully cook it, just halfway should be fine because it still has to go in the oven. So again, after the water boils, we're going to put the rice in and cook it halfway. And continue to mix it so it doesn't stick until the water boils again. Once it starts boiling, lower the heat to halfway and let it cook. So after it boils, stop mixing, lower the heat, and let it cook. So for the tomatoes that we've carved out, the insides, we're going to blend it because we need it like a sauce juice kind of texture. Just a little bit. And during this time, I'm going to prepare a pan with some oil so I could fry my onions. At the same time, we're watching again the rice, so it's not fully cooked yet. So as you can see, this is halfway cooked, so I'm going to drain it after. So once my onions have fried, I'm going to add my garlic and mix it in together again. And then we're going to put in the tomatoes that I have blended. And I'm going to leave it until most of the water has evaporated and it's thicker in thickness. And then we're going to add some salt, not a lot. Black peppers as well. About a teaspoon is good. Then we're going to put again the parsley and the coriander. The fresh parsley and the fresh coriander. And then we're going to mix very well so it's all one texture like this. So at this point the rice should be done. When I've drained it again and left it. So I'm going to use a parchment paper on my pan, and I sprayed the pan with oil, and I've sprayed it again on top. Again, I've sprayed my tomatoes, the sliced tomatoes, with oil. Now we're going to start mixing the tomato sauce mix that I had and the rice. so that the stuffing is all ready. If you want to add more tomato sauce, regular tomato sauce, if you want the rice a little bit, the stuffing to be more tomato based, you can add some more tomato sauce. Regular tomato sauce is fine. So make sure that you didn't cook the rice fully so that it doesn't get all mushy when we're mixing it with the tomato. So now we're going to find a pan like this one here that I'm going to put the tomatoes in. Again, for this one, we don't want it to be too big because we want the tomatoes tightly placed together so they can hold each other. Because we know when tomatoes cook, they tend to break up and get a little bit moist. So we want a pan that fits them perfectly so they can hold each other up. So now we're going to start stuffing each tomato. I'm going to put 1 spoon, and then I'm going to put one of my mozzarella cubes, and fill the rest all the way to the top with rice. Again, the mozzarella cubes are optional. If you don't want to put cheese in the stuffed tomatoes, that's up to you as well. I prefer to put some cheese in there. So we're stuffing it all the way to the end. Don't worry about leaving space for the rice. It's already fully cooked. It's not going to expand, so fill it all the way to the top. Again, we've sprayed the pan with, we've greased the pan with oil so that the tomatoes don't stick to the pan. Or if you have a non-stick pan, that would work as well, same thing. So as you can see, I've stuffed all my tomatoes and I've put them in the pan. And we're going to put it in the oven for 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 45 minutes should be good. And then I'm going to put some oil on top of each one, just lightly, not too much. As you can see here, the tomatoes have cooked and the top is very nicely roasted and red. And again, for the sliced tomatoes that I had taken off at the top, I had put them in the oven for about 20 minutes to roast. And then now I'm going to spray some parsley at the top, and I'm going to put back the covers for the tomatoes just so they look a little bit more appetizing. Thank you and hope you enjoy.